to a trip across the world in sports. We're going to start the show tonight taking a look at the FIFA rankings released for the month of June. Nigeria slipped 4 places. We're going to talk about that this evening. We're also going to talk about some decisions taken by FIFA as it affects some African teams. We will look at that as well. We will come home at some point, look at the Nigerian National League, some decisions taken by the league body. We will look at that. We will also look at tennis. As you already know, Thursday is a night, varieties night, and of course on Thursday we look at bar sports. And I have 2 guys in the house. One is a regular, and the other makes his return on the show tonight. So 2 guys in the house. We'll be talking about bar sports, what you need to know, and how to move some of these sports, lesser known sports, how to move it forward in Nigeria. So that's the outlook of the show tonight. It promises to be an exciting time with you tonight. I'm not alone on the show tonight. I have Dunodi Okunta, who joins me for the first segment of the show. Dunodi, let me welcome you to the show tonight.
It's my pleasure. Good evening, Yemi.
All right. Let me quickly ask you, FIFA rankings, a lot of people don't take it seriously, but your quick thoughts. Nigeria won some games in June, yet we're slipping. We're going to talk about it extensively, but your thoughts, did it come to you as a surprise?
We take it very serious now because the seedings for the final qualifiers for the FIFA on a 2014 FIFA World Cup,
if you get to
African zone.
If you get to the second round.
If you get to the final round,
to the final round,
seedings are going to be based on your ranking before that particular draws will be made. So it means between now and the end of August.
Yeah, this the September, end of August. Yeah, okay.
Okay, the end of September. After the game against Malawi, they will start talking about the final qualifiers. So we have to take it very serious.
All right.
A lot of us will say, okay, what does it, what import, or how important will this be? But now we take it very serious because it will determine, because CAF has announced, so
to determine what our opponents will be. Okay, let's go to break on the show tonight, catch our bread, and come back to discuss extensively the FIFA rankings, the implications for Nigeria and some other African teams.
At first, it's only anticipation that something is about to happen. This is one thing that makes life interesting. To compete not only with players across the field, but across the world. It makes me feel joy when we win and sorrow when we lose. The action and reaction, colliding, falling, dropping, despite the odds. I love it because it brings me tears of victory, tears of joy. The skill that leads to the pass that leads to the shot that leads to the goal that determines the ultimate. Channel Sports, defining the moment of true sport.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at the FIFA rankings, the one that was just released in the early hours of today. Let's start with the African top 10, and let's see how some of these teams have. Now, this is what it looks like. Cote d'Ivoire in number 1. I mean, they didn't move up, they didn't move down, and they retained their top spots in Africa. Ghana, despite moving 3 spots down, they are 24th in the world, 2nd in Africa, followed by Mali. Algeria takes Nigeria's 4th spot. They are on number 4. Nigeria slips down to number 5. You have Burkina Faso, Tunisia, Cape Verde that moved 23 spots up, and of course the Bafana of South Africa, and the Chipolo Polo of Zambia making up the top 10. My question for you is there anybody here that shouldn't be here?
I don't think anybody. When you look at the rankings, because I'll do that from the performance of the team at their final their various qualifiers for the 2014 World Cup. Some of them had outstanding performance. Right from after the Nations Cup, I think we've seen teams like Cape Verde having some kind of a consistent performance in the qualifiers. Even South Africa, even though they lost to Ethiopia in their last qualifier, because it doesn't mean Ethiopia will replace South Africa. That is what people don't know. Because if South Africa is ahead of Ethiopia with 1,200 points, a victory over South Africa does did not
Yes.
wipe out that difference between Ethiopia and South Africa.
440 games were taken into consideration, some grade A matches
and some
FIFA
grade B
Confederations
matches,
Cup
yes.
matches. So a whole lot of all those matches were taken into consideration. And I think I agree with you. Not just one match.
Not just one match. Not just one match.
Place one team above the other.
And again, if you look at that, if you look at our own performance too, you say yes. In the month of June, busy. We had Kenya, we had Malawi, we had Mexico. Okay, before them, okay, Mexico was May 31st. So for the month of June, we had Kenya, we had Malawi, then we had the FIFA Confederation Cup, and then we had Tahiti, we had Uruguay, and we had Spain. Out of the 5, we won 2. And if you look at the quality of opposition, you look at that, because for FIFA to come up with this ranking, you discover they use a particular
There's a
format.
yardstick.
There's a yardstick. They call it P equals to MITC, and M means match won, I is the importance of match, T is the strength of opposing team, and C is the confederation. We played Kenya, we are far above Kenya, so it means it doesn't change our ranking. We played Malawi, it was we played Namibia, we are far above Namibia. We played Tahiti, the confederation Tahiti comes for. It's not at par.
They don't even get a direct place in the World Cup.
In the World Cup, so it's not at par with Africa. So it's a different ballgame. But the biggest,
and the ones we lost to
are the biggest in terms of scoring. The UEFA and CONMEBOL, where Spain and Uruguay came from. They had one. At least they carry the highest number of points. But of course, we lost to the.
So it counted against us.
I think it counted against us. So that was why a lot of us will say, yeah, even though we played the FIFA Confederation Cup, and it doesn't change
a lot
of things.
Okay, let's move to the world now. Let's look at the top 10 football playing nations according to FIFA. Well, despite losing the FIFA Confederations Cup final, Spain retained their top spot. They are number 1, followed by Germany. Colombia moved up 4 spots due to their good performance in the 2014 FIFA World Cup qualifiers in their region, followed by South American giants Argentina. The Netherlands retained their number 5 spot. The Azuris of Italy moved up 1 spot. They are number 6 now. Portugal, Croatia, 7 and 8. Brazil, 13 spots. Surprisingly, this is the first time, in a long while, that they are in the top 10. But winning the Confederations Cup against beating some of the top teams in the world surely counts for something. So they move up 13 spots. And of course, Belgium, a new generation of players. A whole lot of things is happening in that team. And of course, they move 2 spots and they are now number 10. And I'm going to ask you again, well, for once, the 3 Lions are not here. England, they're not here. But I don't know if you think, you seem to justify the African top 10. I don't know if you justify this one.
You can't displace Spain as world number 1 because that lost at the FIFA Confederation because does not mean Spain will see that
position.
It's a little blip. And if you look at Spain, before the final, they won all their games before that final game against Brazil. So you can't displace Spain. It does not mean because Brazil won the FIFA Confederation Cup from 22 to become world number 1, it won't change. The 9th position you give them, of course, 13 points.
13 spots up.
Leap is just a spot up. It's just I think it's justified. They beat their first game. They played Japan. At least that one is from the AFC. They have the same number of points as a team from Africa. Subsequent games, they played some of the best team. Even Spain, they beat in the final. So
and they defeated them.
Beating Spain again, it carries a lot of points, and you justify why Brazil has to be world number 9. For Spain, they still remain world number. It's going to take a long time because if they remain consistent, and you see, if you look at this ranking, for you to remain consistent, you have to play top teams, and you have to win some of those top games. You can't go and play teams like maybe Papua New Guinea or play teams like Seychelles or Comoros, and even if you beat them 20,
so when we are planning